do a little video on something. I'm going to be selling this. It's my, well, get it on screen. It's a Hudson double barrel shotgun. This is a special Kydex holster that a friend made for me. Double barrel, I took the red tips off it, but double barrel. And I was running it for the longest time in this custom holster, would hold an MP7 as well. And in the pack right here is actually 4 of the shells that used to work in it. And I say used to because these shells leak like a sieve. They have this little O-ring on the top, and you put 7 BBs in it, shoots out. And I remember using these at 1-op, and this has 2 triggers, front trigger, back trigger, okay? And when you fire it, it will just push out, and it just sets the gun off. I remember taking this to an op, and I actually had, I think, my MP5 that I had slung, and I had this on my right hip as a sidearm instead of, like, carrying a pistol. And I have 6 shells, so I had 2 in the gun, 4 on my, on the holster, on this holster with the 4 of them. So I remember I have the MP5 slung. Guys are coming up on me. I put the gun up, and I'm like, okay, here's going to be fun. Pull the trigger. Well, that one had a little gas still in it. Pull the trigger. Nothing. Pull the trigger on the other one. It went and just barely had the BBs come out. I get shot. So there was 2 fails on them. Open the gun up. Threw the 2 shells in my dump pouch. Took the other 2 shells out. Put them in. Come back from respawn. Go out in the field. And I'm carrying this now. I'm not waiting. And I see a guy. And I'm sneaking up on him. And we go to shoot. And I pull the trigger. And I actually got 7 BBs to go out. And I got him. I got lit up by somebody else. And I'm like, well, okay, that's all right. I said, I don't know what shell I shot. So I open it up. Find out it's the one on the one side. I take it out. Put it in my dump pouch. Pull another one out. Put it in the gun. I'm ready to go. So I go back out. I thought, I'm going to get 2 this time. Go out. Get centered right on a guy. He doesn't know I'm there. Pull the trigger. Nothing. Pull it a couple of times. Nothing. Go to the other trigger. I got a little like this, and the BBs go like 20 feet, which then alerted the guy, turned around, and shot me. So there's 2 more shells that didn't work. So I pop them out, go back to spawn, I pop them out. I got 1 shell left, okay, and I say, okay, what side is this? All right, this side, the back trigger does the right side. So what I'm going to do, put the shell in there, and I don't have any green gas on me. I had filled these up, and it was back in staging, so we're just going back to spawn. And I go back to spawn, and I go back out, and I got 1 shell, and I said, if it don't fire this time, I'm never bringing this out again. So I get the guy, and I come around the corner. He's right there, and I pull the trigger, and it goes, and it spits out about 10 feet. He was within 10 feet. 2 of them, like, barely hit him in the leg, and he shot me, like, twice in the chest. So I'm like, he called it, I called it, but I'm like, oh, man, what a pain in the ass. And I had just, the night before, took all the O-rings, oiled them all up, made sure they were lubed good, checked it for gas, filled them up, they were working good. You know, I tried firing a couple of times. I'm like, oh, this is great, this is great. Put them all in here, got in staging, loaded them all up with gas, put the BBs in. I'm ready to go, and that's the day I had with it. And after that second, like, misfire that I barely got the guy with, I put the gun back in the holster, put it away, and I don't think I ever took it out again for any kind of open play or any kind of game. It's cool that it has this Kydex holster, which you sort of just put in, turn, it's locked in place. It's cool, but the original gas shells never worked. Now, there was a guy that said to me, he said, "Oh, I did a mod. I put inserts in it and did the extractor. I did a 3D print of it." And he said it works with regular shells. And I'm like, I need that. Send me that. And I had a buddy that was 3D printing. So this is using APS shells that I had. At the time, this is all I could find. I had 2 Mad Bull gas shells that I sold with launchers, but these shells only hold 3 rounds. They work great. Inside here, if you can see the green, and they move back and forth, there are 2 inserts so that you put the shell in, they only go in so far, and they line up and lets the BBs come out. Okay? This is also a new extractor right here. Okay? It's hard to see on video, but the new extractor right here, 3D printed, holds the shells so it can pull them out. I actually let the guy have it. I have the original extractor, which once you take the original extractor out, then the inserts will come out, and you can use the original shells. But I'm like, I have 6 of the original shells, and I have 5 of these PPS shells. The problem that I see on this is twofold. This is nice, and they do work. There's only 3 rounds coming out of here. For a gas shotgun, there's a lot of different gas shotguns on the market that take a 30-round shell that just work all the time. This is a nice conversation piece. It's real wood and all that up front here too. But as a regular weapon to use, no. But that was a fun time that I had with this at one game. I don't think I'll ever use this again because I'm going to be selling it to a guy that wants to use it as a conversation piece. So hopefully he doesn't want to use it out in the field too much. The new shells, it might work decent for him. But as a regular weapon, people see it and they think, oh, it's going to make a lot of noise. It's a gas shotgun. It goes when it shoots. That's about as loud as it gets. So it is a nice looking weapon. Very heavy, but practical, no. So that's my experience with this weapon when I bought it and how I used it at one game, and that was the final straw. So hope you enjoyed this video story. As always, have a good day, man.
I need an adult! I need an adult!